Artificial intelligence, or AI, and new technologies, or ET, are about to change the way people work. Experts don't know what the exact effects of AI and ET will be, but they think that in the near future, many jobs that people do now will be done by robots, while new jobs will be made as technology improves. The field of education will be affected in many ways by these coming changes. Schools need to teach students how to be competitive on the job market, and post-secondary schools need to give students and displaced workers the chance to get relevant education and retraining. As technology improves, new tools will be made to help teachers, students, and other people who are looking for work or retraining. Because of this, there are a lot of policy-related questions about how AI and ET will affect education. This paper doesn't focus on just one of these many questions, but instead gives us an overview of some of the most important things to think about when it comes to how AI and ET are changing education. This paper talks about the challenges, opportunities, and risks that AI and ET bring to the field of education. Then, this paper ends with a few suggestions for how to change education to fit the changes brought about by AI and ET. Jobs that require problem-solving, teamwork, critical thinking, communication, and creativity are less likely to be taken over by machines. Because of how this work is done, there probably won't be a big drop in the number of people who want to work in this field. Instead, schools and teachers will almost certainly have to work hard to prepare students for a changing job market. Policymakers and educators need to change K-12 education to help students learn skills that are likely to be in demand in the future, also known as 21st century skills. Since this is the case, critical thinking, problem-solving, and working as a team should be emphasized in all K-12 subjects. As the nature of work changes, teaching students to think critically, solve problems, and work well in groups will help them stay competitive in the job market. Just as important, these skills give students a solid foundation for independent thinking, which will help them no matter what careers they choose in the future. Critical thinking, solving problems, and working as a team should be stressed in all K-12 subjects. As the nature of work changes, teaching students to think critically, solve problems, and work in groups will help them stay competitive in the job market. Also, the need for tech-savvy workers is growing, which suggests that learning science, technology, engineering, and maths, or STEM subjects, can help students be competitive in the job market. Given that the country as a whole has low levels of proficiency and big achievement gaps, STEM education should definitely be a top priority. But since critical thinking skills are becoming more and more important in many different subjects, high-quality STEM instruction is only part of the solution in preparing students for a changing workforce. Also, giving Americans chances to learn throughout their lives will be a key part of helping people who lost their jobs find new ones. Darrell West says, in the modern world, people can expect to switch jobs, see whole industries get shaken up, and need to learn new skills because of changes in the economy. Most likely, the work they do when they are 30, 40, 50, or 60 will be very different from what they did when they are 30, 40, 50, or 60. People need to be ready to deal with a world that is always changing, which means they need to find alternative careers, enroll in and finish relevant education and training programs, and find work after they graduate. Only one part of preparing students for a changing workforce is to give them high-quality STEM lessons. Taking these steps is easier to say than to do. Most educational paths are not connected to the job market, which makes it hard for students to see where they want to go with their careers. No information is given that would help policymakers, college officials, and students make decisions. As new technology continues to change the way people work and the kinds of jobs they can do, it is becoming more important to make policies and programs that help people find and finish the right education, career, and retraining paths. Opportunities in AI and ET. AI and ET are getting better, which brings both new problems and new chances. First, improvements in artificial intelligence can give teachers useful tools. Blended learning, which is defined as the strategic integration of in-person learning with technology to enable real-time data use, Individualized instruction and mastery-based progression lets teachers use new technology to personalize education for each student. People often call this method personalized learning. Studies have shown that personalized learning is a good idea, but it is still hard to put into practice. To come up with good ways to use technology in the classroom, it will be important to evaluate blended and personalized learning experiments on a regular basis. Several studies show how important it is to help teachers and educators use technology to improve their lessons. Second, AI and other new technologies can be used to make resources that can be used by a large number of students and other people to figure out how to get an education, get training, and find a job. One interesting new idea is a controversial AI system that helps incoming college students finish required pre-matriculation tasks by sending them personalized text messages. Through its Nudge 4 Center, the University of Virginia is working on ways to use technology to help students and other people. For example, a current project aims to use machine learning to give community college students personalized advice on how to transfer. Interactive online tools like the Skillful Initiative can help job seekers, employers, and career coaches in many ways. These and other innovations show that even though technology is changing the way people work, policymakers and teachers can still use technology to help students get into college and connect with adults with education and job opportunities. Risks connected with AI and DT. AI and DT make it possible for new ways to help students and people looking for work. But changes coming to the workforce pose big risks. For starters, educational inequality may get worse, which would have bad effects down the line. Nationally representative tests show that there are big and long-lasting differences in how well students do based on race and income. Even though the number of low-income students who finish college is going up, high-income students are still more likely to do so. Even worse, differences in school resources that are linked to residential and income segregation suggest that the schools best able to prepare students for changes in the workplace are likely to serve children from higher income families. Differences in school resources that are linked to residential and income segregation suggest that schools that serve children from higher income families are more likely to prepare students for changes in the workplace. In this situation, policies that are meant to get students ready for the future workforce but don't take into account the differences that already exist are likely to make them worse. Researchers Harry Holzer and Sandy Baum, for example, say that just making general information available is unlikely to significantly improve the college decisions of students from less privileged backgrounds. This is based on research on how students reacted to newly available information on earnings through the college scorecard. If policymakers don't pay enough attention, existing gaps could get bigger as the job market gets worse. Second, changing education to meet changes in the workforce could lead to education goals that are too narrow. One of the main goals of education in the United States has always been to help students get jobs. But that is not the only goal, and it shouldn't be. Other goals are to teach students how to interact with other people in a positive way and to get them involved in civic life and the democratic process. For now, it seems that both Democrats and Republicans agree that the goals of education include, but are not limited to, developing the workforce. This is shown by the recent proposal by the Trump administration to combine the Departments of Education and Labor. Changes in the workforce that are expected because of technological progress don't mean that long-term educational goals have to be scrapped. Thank you so much for watching this video.